a comfortable seat. So shift your give side to side. If you think your house is going to be noisy and that the film is actually going to switch from me to you because the phone rings or you cough or sneeze or whatever, put yourself on mute. Otherwise, you may be in the public eye here and there when that video comes out. Okay, up to you. All right, so let's get settled in. So take a comfortable seat for you, that the pelvis is lifting long out of the spine is lifting long out of the pelvis. Legs are soft, comfortable, and relaxed. The heart is lifted, and the sitting bones are rooted and grounded into this space. So you're going to shift a little bit side to side. And in this space, in this beautiful space, in your home, in the yoga center, just get connected to the present. So look around, especially if you're new here to the yoga centers, look around and see 3 things that maybe weren't here before, or look in your home. Maybe you've done some decorating and you can see 3 things that you hadn't really paid attention to. Breathe in through the nose and out through an open mouth as you then hear 3 things in your space. And still keeping the eyes open, just notice 3 things that you can feel on your body. Temperature of your air, the clothes on your body. And then invite the eyes to close as you begin to take that quick tour of the inner landscape of your body. Imagine you've got a little camera moving through your body and it's just picking up on areas that are tight or tense or need additional loving kindness today. We're not going to ignore those or push through pain, but just be present with those, non-judgy, just, okay, that's where I am today. Let's use the breath to soften. Notice in your body where your torso or your chest moves the most with each and every breath. Giving you a little more interesting feedback about where your nervous system is today. In the upper chest, you're still in that sympathetic fight or flight. So bringing attention to the side ribs and belly, inviting the side ribs to expand and the belly to soften as you breathe in. Slowing the breath down, that's comfortable for you, moving into a mindful, regulated breath, pranayama. Breathing in through the nose, the belly softens and rounds, the side ribs expand, invite the chest to broaden a bit. And as you exhale, just a letting go of all that. Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras tells us that the most pleasurable things in life are often the most difficult, because eventually we have to let it go. Then the inquiry is, would I trade the pleasure for the difficulty of letting it go? And the Buddha reminds us that impermanence is the nature of human condition. So human condition innately is always changing. And we know this in our minds, but tend to resist this in our hearts. Change happens all around us all the time, the breath, the weather, where people live, the job, everything, the people we love, and most difficultly, people we lose in our lives through death or severed relationships. And we want that reassurance. It comes from things remaining the same. So that's why it's a journey and an effort to embrace impermanence. Well, let's bring our hands to our heart space. And we'll do a breath that helps us to begin to really settle into that idea of impermanence. We're going to take our hands up to our forehead as we inhale for a count of 4, and then pause that breath. Pause as we open our hands out to the side, creating the square box for a count of 4. And on the exhale, we'll lower the hands down, lower in the chest for a count of 4. And then pause the breath again as we bring the hands together. So we have a beginning as we breathe in, pausing in the middle, Exhale as we end the breath, and then pause as we prepare to begin again. Inhale for a count of 4, beginning. Pausing the breath in the middle. Exhaling the end of the breath. Pausing again as we prepare for the next, that whole cycle. Beginning, middle, end, begin again. So continue with this square breath just a few more times at your own pace, at your own rhythm. One final square breath. Ending with the hands in front of the heart as we chant the sound of Om together 3 times. And even Om has a beginning, a middle, and an end, the ah, o, sound. We take a breath and begin again. So as you're ready, exhale fully. Inhale. Bow your head to your heart. The head should always bow to the heart. Lower your hands down to your thighs. Gently blink your eyes open. And let's begin our practice on our backs. All right, get a nice good stretch, lengthen the body, prepare our body for our practice. So let's start with a nice full body stretch. Take your arms, since we haven't really warmed up the shoulders, they can just come out to a T if that feels better. And take your legs as wide as the mat and just gently internally and externally rotate those legs. Eleanor, can you hear me on your back?
I can't, no, I need to see you, I see.
Okay, just turn sideways a little bit. Internally and externally rotate your legs. There you go. Okay. All right, and then bring the knees in towards the chest, rock side to side. If it helps to place your hands under your thighs, you can do that. So you're not crunching your knees, and just gently rock side to side. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Then lower the left leg down. Bring the right knee into the chest and extend the leg up toward the sky. Make some circles with your ankle, both directions, and point and flex your toes. Bend your knee back into your chest. Take your left arm out to goalpost or out to a T, and use your right hand to invite your right leg out to the right side. We're trying to keep the pelvis level. So if you've tipped your left pelvis up, just rotate back down and only take your right leg out as far as can go without the pelvis rotating. With your left hand, reach for the right leg and draw the right leg across the left side of the body. Right arm reaches out to the side and the shoulder presses down toward the earth. To find that sweet spot in your glute, in your hip, bring your right knee up towards your left bicep. Find that sweet spot that tells you you're stretching that piriformis muscle and the glutes. You'll find it. You'll know it when you get it there. Come back to center and extend the leg back up toward the sky. And then reach the arms overhead, lower the leg down slowly. We'll go to the other side. Bring the left knee into the chest, give it a hug. Extend the leg long with the hands behind the thigh. Make some circles with the ankle, one direction, then the other. Point and flex the ankle. Press out through the heel of the foot. And then bend the knee back into the chest. Take the right arm to goal post. Left arm takes the left leg over to the left side. Pelvis stays rooted to the earth. With your right hand, reach over to the left leg and draw the left leg across the right side of the body. And extend the left arm out to the side, reaching the shoulder toward the earth. Discover the sweet spot where the knee comes up toward the upper arm on that right side. And go ahead and let the buttock come up off the left hip come up off the earth. So you're doing a nice little twist as well as a glute stretch. Come back towards center, then extend the leg long up towards the sky. Flex out through the heel of the foot. And then slowly lower the leg, reach the arms up overhead. Take the arms out to a wide V and take your legs as wide as the mat. Keep the pelvis rooted into the earth and slide your left leg to meet your right leg into a half banana crescent. Depending on your shoulders now, that left arm can just reach overhead or come all the way over your head as you shimmy your torso toward the right side of the mat, making a C with the left side of your body into a banana on that C. If you're looking for more sensation, take your left leg and put your left ankle on top of your right ankle for a little more stretch on that side. So the whole left side of the body is really being stretched. If it's too much on the shoulders, back off of the shoulders. If it's too much on the side hip, uncross the ankles. Breathe into that left side of the body. Keep the pelvis rooted into the earth. And go ahead and release the arm. Shimmy the torso back to neutral. Uncross the ankles. Bend the knees and give yourself a hug to realign the spine. We're going to do that on the other side. That's your banana crescent. All right. So extend the legs long, take them as wide as the mat. Reach the arms out to a wide V. Make sure the pelvis is rooted and stationary in place as you start to slide your right leg towards your left leg. That right arm can lift straight up overhead as you start to shimmy your torso toward the left side. And the left arm can go to wherever the shoulder is comfortable, as if you were doing a crescent. And if you're looking for more sensation on the right outer hip, take the right ankle and cross it over the left ankle. Breathe into those right ribs. Notice what your face is doing, any tension in the teeth or jaw. Just use the breath to soften. This is not an easy posture. This is not a position we put ourselves in throughout the course of the day in any situation. All right. Bring the arm down and shimmy the torso back to neutral. And then uncross the ankles, bend the knees, and bring those knees back into the chest, rocking side to side. All right, so we've opened our outer thigh, our ribs, and our shoulder. Let's get to the hip now. So lower the feet down to the earth with the knees bent. Bring that left, lift the left leg up, externally rotate it and put the left ankle on the right thigh, right above the knee into figure 4. Keep the foot flexed. That'll help support the knee. Take a breath. And as you exhale with your muscle energy, just press the left leg away from you. Just push, with your muscle energy, push that left leg away from you. You're not using your hands on it. You're just using your strength. Now you can stay right here if this offers you enough sensation, but if you're looking for more, thread your hands through the opening and reach for the backside of your right thigh and draw that contraption in toward your chest, only to the point where you feel sensation. And then tip a little over to the right side. So your right elbow's resting on the earth and you're getting a bigger stretch in that left outer hip. And if you'd like to extend your right leg long, go ahead and do that. That's going to require some core strength as well if you're tipped over to the side. Notice your breath. Should be calm and easy. Back off. Use your breath as a gauge to tell you if you're in the right place or not. Go ahead and bring the hips back to neutral and lower the feet down. We'll go to the other side. So lift up the right foot, externally rotate it, put the ankle on top of the left knee. Use your breath and your muscle energy to press that right leg away from you. Stay here if this is the sensation you're looking for. If you want more, pick the left foot up, thread the hand through the opening, reach for the back side of the left thigh. Keep the feet flexed to support the knee. Good. And then if you're looking for a little more sensation on that right outer hip, tip over to the left a little bit. Can even let that left ankle help support, left elbow support you. Yeah. Give a little massage. Extend the left leg if that's interesting for you. Another breath. Good. And then slowly lower that down. Undo the feet. Take your feet as wide as the mat with the knees bent and just gently rock the knees side to side. That little series there is always my go-to warm-up before I start my home yoga practice, because it just gets my body a little bit more opened up before I try other things, even sitting on a mat. All right, keep your knees bent and find your block. Now, anybody that has any issues with glaucoma or elevated blood pressure that's not controlled with medication, we're going to be doing a little inversion with the block. So you won't want to do it if you have those conditions with your eyes or your blood pressure. Just stay flat. But if you're able to use a block on the lower part of your pelvis, or a blanket if the block doesn't feel good on your body, you're going to take it, our hips are wide, so you're going to take it wide and not on the lumbar spine, but on the pelvis, right? Right above the curve of the butt cheek and below the lumbar spine. You're going to lift your hips up and place the block there. I'm going to make sure that you're in a safe place with that. So go ahead and lift the hip, slide it under, make sure it's not, yep. Air on the side of almost, take a little bit higher. You can take it a tiny bit higher to support the pelvis a little bit more. There you go. Perfect. And it shouldn't hurt. It should feel supportive. Make sure that the head's not on too many blankets so that your chin is not crunched into your spine. Does that feel good?
It's okay.
It's okay. You could probably slide it up a tiny bit higher for a little more support on the pelvis. Good. Is that better, Martha? You're not hanging off, but you're also not putting it low on your lower back. Your pelvis, it's right on those pelvic bones, those big wings of your pelvis bones. All right, this is called resting bridge. You guys okay? Anybody have any questions in Zoom land there? Looks good. Okay, so let's let the pelvis just settle into this space. Lower the arms down by your side. Open the shoulders up a little bit. Good. Turn the palms up toward the sky. And then slowly, if it's okay with your lower back, test this slowly. Slide your right leg along the mat to the short end of the mat. Just start to slide your right leg long. This is a psoas release. That's your hip flexor muscle. It might feel tight at first. You might get some resistance, but just breathe into that hip flexor space. Softening. I would have to admit for myself, it never feels good to do both at the same time. But if you have absolutely no issues with your back and you want to play with that, you can do both legs, but it never feels good in my body. If you've done one leg, go ahead and slide that one up and do the other leg. Notice if one side feels tighter than the other. Use your breath. Keep your foot floppy. This is where we're not putting any flexion into the ankle. Nice. All right. Go ahead and bend the knees back up. And then with your hands, with the palms facing down on the mat, lift your feet up off the floor and start to take the legs up towards the sky in a playful way. Flex the feet. See if that feels okay in your body. It should be effortless. This should not be requiring a lot of effort. This is a really beautiful substitute for legs up the wall. It can be really, really calming. And again, it should be effortless. You can stay here if this feels calming and fun for you, or you can take your legs out to a wide V and start to get a nice stretch in the inner thighs. Place your hands on your inner thighs to help open up the feet away from each other. Then bend your knees so your heels come towards your hips and bring the knees back together. And then with your breath, inhale the legs up towards the sky. As you exhale, take a wide V with the legs. Keep the feet flexed now. Inhale, bend the knees. And exhale, bring the knees back together. Just play with this a few times. You can even go in the opposite direction so that instead of bringing the knees together, you lift the legs back out to a wide V and then use your muscle inner thigh strength to bring the legs back together. Some of you are bicycling, that's fun. You can scissors the legs. Listen to your body. What does it want to do in this predicament? Love seeing y'all be creative, listening to your body. You should feel a little bit of rush in your head by about now because your feet, your heart's having to work harder to send that blood up towards your feet. So take another breath or two. That's fun. And then go ahead and lower the feet back down and just do a couple bridges while you're here. All right, so put the feet down on the floor, arms are down by your side, and then snuggle your shoulder blades under your back, which you can do a little bit better because your torso is already lifted. And push the backs of the arms and the heels of the feet into the floor as you lift your hips up off the block just a little bit. Squeeze the glutes and then lower back down. Let's do that just a couple more times. Press the backs of the arms and the feet into the earth, lift the hips and torso. Squeeze the glutes and release. This time, if you want to try, you're going to lift up just a tiny bit, just enough to clear airspace under the block. And see if you can't slowly lift one leg at a time, creating a really slow and stable march. Keep the core strong. You got that block there to support you if you'd rather do this with your hips still on the block. Lifting up just a little bit with those legs. Really strong core. Don't get a cramp in the hamstring. Do one or two more times each way. Good. And then go ahead and lift the hips up, pull the block out. Lower the spine back down to the earth and just notice the change in dynamic and do what you need to do. What does your body say would feel really good to do right now? A little counter pose, maybe the knees into the chest. Good. Okay. After you're finished exploring, go ahead and come up to a comfortable seat for yourself on your blanket. That feel good? Not a good way to start a practice. Yeah, just to kind of warm up the hips and the spine and the glutes, get everything wakened up. And then maybe you'll find when you're sitting on your mat, it just feels more comfortable to sit. All right, everybody there? Good. All right, fingertips on those shoulders. Just need to do a couple because we've already opened our shoulders. Notice that they feel more open than usual when we start this. More breath in. Exhale back and down. Now point your elbows forward. Soften your shoulders down. Lower the chin in the direction of the chest and bring the elbows toward each other. Big stretch across the back of the shoulders. Lift the head, lift the spine, open the arms out to the side and press the backs of the hands toward each other as you lift up through the heart space. Don't kink the neck back. Head goes no higher than the eye gaze of the seam of the ceiling and the wall. Good. Now come back to neutral spine, reach the arms up overhead. Press the sitting bones into the earth as the arms reach long overhead. Take a breath in here. And with that left hand, lower it down to the left side. Root down through the right as you lengthen. Stay rooted as you crescent over towards that side. Lift and lower twice. So inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Stay on this side. And then next breath, then lift up. Stay here, lengthen, draw the belly in and twist towards the left. Bring that hand down to the opposite left knee. And bring your left arm to goalpost with the hand facing your ear. Roll the shoulders back. And if it's right for you, take your right shoulder towards your right knee. Stretching through that left side of the body, reach the left arm up overhead or upper arm in line with the ear, or keep it at goalpost. Big stretch on that whole left side of the body again. And use your muscle strength to lift back up, twist back towards center. With that left hand, bring it onto your right shoulder and scoop the other hand underneath. Draw the chin to the chest and round your back body into a big cat pose here. When you're ready to take another breath in, sweep the arms out to the side, grow your spine long. Root down through that left side and bring the right arm down. Lengthen and crescent over towards the right. Lift and lower twice. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, crescent. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crescent. Stay on this side as you lift and lengthen, draw the belly in, gently twist towards the right, and take that hand to the opposite knee. Right arm comes to goalpost, hand faces the ear. Keep it here, or bring that left shoulder in line with the left ear. And do what feels best with your opposite arm, so it can reach up overhead, or the upper arm can come in line with the ear, the right hand. I'm having trouble with my right and left today. And then use your muscle energy to lift straight back up, twist back towards center. That right hand's going to come to the opposite shoulder. Left arm sweeps underneath, chin to the chest, round your back body into cat pose again. And when you're ready for that big breath, enjoy a big breath in, arms up overhead, palms together, and hands down to the heart. All right. Bring your hands back behind you and your feet as wide as the mat with your knees bent. and come up on the heels of your feet. And that's always going to help support the knees. So lift the toes up. Now slowly rock the knees side to side and a little more stretch in that outer hip. Good. Take your time, no rush, nowhere else we need to be right now. What do you sense on that outer hip? All right, next time the knees are pointing in the direction of the right, leave them there. See if you can sit up into that. So press the hands back behind you to lift up through the heart. Keep the feet flexed to support the knees. And then gently twist towards the right and sweep your right arm towards your left, twist towards the right and use your left arm and bring it over towards that, that right shin. Lengthen and then hinge forward as you bring the hands down to the mat and bring the belly over top of that right thigh. This is a modified pigeon pose. So some of you who are familiar with pigeon pose and like pigeon pose and you want to extend your left leg back behind you, you're welcome to do that. But it doesn't add that much more. We have done a hip flexor stretch, so it might feel okay to extend that leg back behind you. Soften into it. Breathe in and breathe out. Notice the breath, notice the face. Soften the teeth. The jaw, I should say. Don't soften your teeth. We'll all be visiting Dr. Ed. Okay, lift back up. Bring those knees back to center. Come up on the heels and rock those knees side to side again. And then, well, next time they're on the left, leave them there. Press the hands into the earth to get a little taller, kind of adjust those legs to get to 90-90. And then gently twist toward that front left leg and then bow forward over that with the hands resting and framing that leg in front of the leg. And if you want to extend your right leg back behind you, go ahead. Or you don't have to. Soften the jaw. And one more breath. And then press on up. Twist back towards center. Grab your block. Put it in front of you. Hands are back behind you. Feet are up on the block, knees together to start. All right, and then bring the soles of the feet together, take the knees away from each other. So when the feet being on the block helps the head of the leg bone plug into the pelvis better, according to Doug Keller, a yoga therapist. All right, press the feet into the earth, press, 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 lift the knees up a little bit. Engage, engage, engage. Once we release, we should get more opening. So take a breath in, keep pressing, 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 pressing. Full breath in. As you exhale, release and open the knees out to the side. Soften. Good. One more time. Press, press, press the feet. Press, 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 press. Knees are lifting. Press, press, press. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Full breath in. As you exhale, release. Notice if you got any more opening, and then see if you can start to walk your hands forward, get a little bit taller with your spine, and just lift the heart space up. They're really opening up through the outer hip. One more breath. Good. All right, take the hands to the sides of the knees. Use the hands to help lift them up. Get the block out of the way and extend your legs out in front of you with still some bend to the knee. Hands come behind the thighs, lengthen, hinge forward, and then slowly start to slide the heels. They might not go all the way, your legs might not straighten, but just start to get a little more length in those hamstrings, little by little. Ooh, without rounding the back. That's the hard part. Ooh, baby. All right, lift back up. We'll do that one more time. Bend the knees, lengthen, hinge, belly toward the thigh, keep the spine straight, don't change the back. Slowly start to slide the heels forward. They may not go all the way straight. Keep supporting those thighs with the hands little by little. Use your breath. How are the teeth doing? Oh, baby. All right, I don't know why that's stiff today. Lift back up. All right. And let's come to tabletop. All right, have your blocks nearby. So you're gonna face forward. I'm gonna turn sideways just so the folks that on the camera can see. And please support your knees with a blanket because there's no fat on our kneecaps. Everybody doing all right? All right, we're gonna start meeting. We're all gonna meet in big, huge hip circles. So while everyone's getting situated, start enjoying those hip circles. Take your time. Notice if you feel something that feels good, stay there, massage. Use your bones to massage yourself. And then go the other direction. Good. All right, I think we're all here. So come to your tabletop. Hands are slightly ahead of your shoulders, all right? Feet, toes are curled under if that feels good on your feet. If not, keep the tops of the feet down. And press the hands into the earth to draw the front body to the back body to engage that core, and then keep lifting the back ribs up as the tailbone sinks toward the heels into cat. And when you're ready to take a nice breath in, sink the belly, lift the head, lift the heart, broaden out through your collarbones. Exhale, round into cat, lift those back ribs up, tailbone lowers. Inhale, sink the belly, lift the head, lift the heart. Exhale, rounding into cat. Inhale, sink the belly, lift the head and heart. And then come to neutral. Widen your knees just a bit and to bring the tops of the feet down to the floor. Come into cat pose, so lift those back ribs up and then sink the hips towards the heels as much as your knees will allow. As you inhale, thread the head through the hands and lift up into cow. So the back is arched, the collarbones are broad, the head is lifted. Exhale, go into cat pose, lift those back ribs up, start to sink the hips towards the heels as much as feels good. And as you inhale, thread the head through the hand, lift up into cow. And then with your beautiful flow, the beginning, the middle, the end, and begin again. Exhaling, rounding and sinking. Inhale, lift back up, begin again. One more, exhale, round, sink those hips. Exhale, and then inhale, thread the head through the hands, lift up into cow. All right, one more. Let me just see what you got going on here. Good, nice, beautiful. Very nice. Okay, now come into your tabletop again. We're going to thread the needle. So put your toes wherever your feet are happiest. And take that right arm and reach it out to the side. Lift it up if that works. So this is a little twist, only if it works. Then we're going to sweep that hand under us, past the open palm, past that left wrist, and bring the shoulder in the direction of the floor and the head in the direction of the floor, but it's not touching the floor. The hair is just grazing it. Press the back of the right hand into the mat to engage. The left hand presses into the mat to help you twist a little bit to the left. Good. And then sweep that hand back out to the side, lift it up as far as is comfortable for you, and we'll go to the other side. So get that core strong and ready. Extend the left arm out to the side or up, and then sweep that hand past your right wrist, bring that left shoulder in the direction of the floor, hair grazing, hips are high. Press the back of the left hand into the mat to help engage and help support that twist. And then come back and reach that arm up back overhead or out to the side and back to neutral. Good. All right, take your hands, one paw print forward. Lift the feet up so you're going to come over the tops of the kneecaps as you come into your low plank. So you're rolling over the top of your kneecaps. The spine and the hips and the thigh are all in one straight line, pressing the hands into the earth. Really push the hands into the earth and help slide those side ribs, those ribs down the side body a little bit. Keep the belly drawn in, core is strong. Good. And then press back into a modified puppy. So head comes between the upper arms, hips are high, and sink the head, sink the belly, stretch out through the arms and the upper back. All right, roll over top into low plank again. Roll over the tops of those knees. See if you can't get that front body to the back body. Press the hands so the side ribs can slide down the side body. Good. Try not to arch the lower back. Press up through that core. Good. Lift up your core a little bit more, Jenna. There you go. Good, good. And then press back again. Now you can do that again, or those of you who are familiar with high plank or want to practice high plank, curl the toes under and lift the knees up off of the floor. Come to high plank. Totally your choice. Press out through the heels of the feet. And then when you're ready, go into child's pose. Lower the knees down, open the knees wide, press into child's pose. You can bring your hands, stack your hands, palm over palm, rest your hands, your forehead on your hands if you choose, just to give yourself a resting child's pose. And breathe through the back body. Nice. All right. All right, last thing on our knees, go ahead and come back up and grab your blocks. I'm going to face forward. Well, no, I'll stay sideways. Grab your blocks. Hands are on the blocks. I'm going to come into lunge. So shift the weight over to the left and bring your right foot as you frame your right foot with the blocks. All right. Left hand stays on the block, right hand onto the hip. Lengthen and gently twist toward the right. Come back to center. Hands on the block, slide those blocks back towards your left thigh and extend your right leg forward. Get light on the fingertips. Send your right hip crease back a little bit. Heel is into the mat, isometrically draws toward the hips, toes up toward the nose. Stay here, or as you lengthen, hinge forward. Keep pressing that right hip back into a half pyramid pose. Nice. Beautiful. Lengthen back up. Walk your blocks forward again and walk your right foot out to the right side of the mat. Bring the block onto the inside edge of the right foot. Make a straight line from your foot to the other side of the mat with your blocks. Lengthen and then hinge forward with the straight spine, bringing the right shoulder in the direction of the right knee. Hands can stay on the block, or if you choose, you can bring your elbows onto the block. And maybe even extend your left knee back just a little bit to get a stretch in that back left hip flexor. Bring the hands back onto the blocks, press back up, bring your leg back in whatever way is easiest and wag your tail. You did it. Happy puppies. All right, let's do the other side, then we're gonna stand up. So go ahead and bring that left foot in between the blocks. Right hand stays on the block, left hand comes to your hip as the elbow points back. Lengthen the spine and gently twist toward the left. Your left elbow's pointing back behind you. Spine is long, core is engaged. And then come back to center. Walk your blocks back to your back right thigh. Extend your left leg forward on the heel of the foot. Press the heel down and isometrically draw it towards your hip. Get that left hip crease pressing back a little bit. Lengthen, toes towards the nose, and if you choose, hinge forward. Nice. You guys look great. Let's have a good teacher. All right, keep isometrically drawing the heel towards your hip. That'll help you open up through the hamstring a little bit. Lift back up, walk your blocks forward, and walk your left foot toward the left side of the mat. So your blocks are in line with your foot. Lengthen, and then start to hinge forward, keeping the spine tall. Left shoulder comes in the direction of the left knee. It doesn't have to go all the way down. On the inside, yeah. See if you can bring your left elbow inside your knee, Eileen. A little bit, yeah. Yeah. There you go. Good. Take another breath. Nice. And we'll lift back up and then figure out a way to stand. I like to use the blocks. So just press the toes under, come to standing, and clear your mat with everything except your blocks. Oop, I guess I need more face time here. Head space. Where'd it go? There we are. Okay, everybody okay?
Yeah.
I need to release that back a little bit. Oh, I still don't have a head. I get told that periodically. All right, so how about a little loose coat sleeves, empty coat sleeves? So you pretend you have a coat on, but you didn't stick your arms in the sleeves, and you're rotating back and forth. When you turn to the right, you lift your left foot up so you don't tweak your knee. There you go. And let the arms be really floppy. This helps to release the shoulders and the lower back a little bit. Okay, keep going. All right. And then slow that down. Feels good, right? Yeah, do that all day. And shift. All right. You'll have your blocks in front of you at the front edge of your mat or wherever's comfortable. And come to your mountain pose. Get the feet rooted into the earth. Down to the big toe and outer edge of the heel. See if you can't press those into the mat to engage the muscles of the legs. Lengthen up out of your spine, roll the shoulders back, heart forward. As you're ready, inhale, reach those arms up overhead, keep them there. Really draw the belly in and press the sitting bone or the tailbone down toward the earth. Really feel strong in this posture. Full breath in. As you exhale, rotate the arms back down. And again, inhale, arms up. Strong and stable core. Exhale, lower back down. And then next time we're going to fold forward. So inhale up. Exhale, hinging from your hip. Bring the hands to the thighs, the shins, or the blocks with a nice straight spine. So you're like a flip phone, all right? Not rounding the back to get our hands down. If they need to stop at the thighs, stop at the thighs, shins, or the blocks. Done a lot of hamstring stretching today, so this might feel better than usual. Another breath. Allow the crown of the head to release toward the earth. Then bend the knees a lot, so the belly's resting on the thighs. Press the hands into the thighs and push on up to standing. Inhale the arms overhead, palms together and down to the heart. Now, depending on how that felt and where you went in your forward fold, we'll use that for your pranam now. Pranam is bowing forward, coming halfway up. So if you bow forward to the blocks, you're going to come halfway up to the thighs. Bow forward again, bend the knees. You can come up with hands pressing on the thighs or hands with on the hips, elbows back. Okay, it's all core strength. So inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, deepen the fold. Bend the knees a lot, come up in your favorite way, hands on the thighs or on the hips. Inhale, arms overhead, palms together and down to the heart. Again, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, deepen the fold. Bend the knees a lot, come up in your favorite way, hands all the way overhead, palms together and down to the heart. Good. Okay, find your breath. From here, we're going to place a block between our thighs to support and engage the core. So when you squeeze the inner thighs, it sends that message to the pelvic floor and the core. So the feet are a happy distance apart. Hands are on the heart. Shift the weight to the heels of the feet, keeping the tailbone pointing downward, not sticking your butt out, but start to bend the knees and shift the hips. So we're sending the hips back like you're sitting in a chair. This is the peeing in the woods without getting your shoes wet pose, right? You know that one. So send the butt back. Not everybody, but keep squeezing the block, squeeze the block, keep the heart lifted, squeeze the block, keep the core strong. Chair pose. Breathe in and out. Press the feet into the earth, come back to standing. Take the arms out to the side. Shift the weight to the heels of the feet. Squeeze the block, bend the knees, sink the hips into chair. Strong legs. Keep squeezing the block, squeeze the block, squeeze the block. Keep the core strong. One more breath. As you exhale, straighten the knees, lower the arms. One more time. Arms forward, squeeze the block, shift the hips, sink the hips. Bend the knees. Find your breath. Soften your teeth. One more breath. And then press the feet into the earth, come to standing. Inhale, lengthen your spine, palms together and down to the heart. Release the block. Take your feet as wide as the mat with the toes pointing out. A little wider if that's your preference for goddess legs, all right? I'm gonna track the knees, so let's start with the legs, hands on the hips. I'm gonna bend the knees, tailbone point straight down. Bend the knees, track the knees over the feet. So if the knees are pointing in, really use that inner thigh opening we've done to really use those muscles to support this so that the knees are tracked over the feet. Good, tailbones lengthen down, spine is straight up out of the pelvis, lift the heart. And then bring your arms to goddess, palms face forward, roll the shoulders back, lift your elbows up a little higher if you can. Good, come to star, straighten the arms, straighten the legs, feel the release. One more breath. Exhale, bend the knees, track the feet, come down to goddess. Hold for the in and hold for the exhale. And then come to your star. Inhale here, exhale, goddess. Now bring the hands to the thighs. Gonna forward fold from here. So hands press into the thighs, lengthen the spine, engage that core with a strong core, hinge forward. Shoot your sitting bones way back behind you. And then use that core strength to lift back up, stay in goddess legs, and back to goddess arms. Let's feel the release. Lower the arms down one more time. Star, inhale, exhale, goddess. Hold for the inhale and the exhale. Lower the hands down to the thighs, press in and lengthen. Hinge forward, strong core, shooting those sitting bones back behind you. Hold for the in, hold for the out. Next inhale, keep the legs in goddess. Come back up to a straight spine, arms to goddess. Wait for that release. And lower the arms down, roll the shoulders out. Keeping those legs strong, so important. Heel toe walk your feet back in. Kick the legs out. Oh, I'm out of breath. All right, come to the end of your mat. Almost done here. All right. Actually, you know what? I really want to do this balance pose. So come to a wall, please, or have a balance prop. for yourself. All right, so you're going to come to a wall. You don't need anything on the floor. There's this Hindu god called Shiva, kind of a dance goddess, the third god, the third in the, yeah, huh? Yes, we're doing her, but Shiva does this too, right?
Yeah, Shiva does that.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the goddess.
God, sorry.
God. Okay.
Yeah. You know more about these guys than I do. I never spent a lot of time learning about them, unfortunately. But we're going to do the, can we call it Shiva dance?
Yeah.
This?
Shiva dance.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do is you have a wall and a center of the room. Okay. So come to your mountain pose and shift your weight back to your heels just a little bit and do a mini half quarter chair pose. All right. So you got a little bend to the foot that's closest to the wall and your hand is on the wall. You're going to peel the center of the room foot up to about a little lower than waist height and then externally rotate that foot. So the foot is the heel is pointing to the wall. All right. So you're like that. The center of the room arm is going to make like you're saying stop, but then turn your fingers down, pressing out through the heel of the hand and point it toward the heel. All right. Good. And if you want to try to play with your other hand and do another stop at your shoulder, that would be the whole thing. Yeah. Play with that a little bit. Keep the foot flexed, the toes lifted and spread. Oh, and I like how Eileen's putting her elbow on the wall so her hand can be free. Beautiful. One more breath and release. Good. And I cheated and I just read it's untamed passion. Untamed passion. That's what Shiva's little dance thing is. I'm not pretending to know anything about this, so just know that.
I have a statue of it.
Yeah.
In my living room. It's like this big. His other foot is on this form, this baby form underneath. It's supposed to be ignorance.
Oh.
And he's destroyer of ignorance.
Destroyer of ignorance. Okay. And untamed passion. Okay, we'll take that. All right. So feet are connected to the earth, nice and tall in your yeah, turn the other way. Sorry, thank you. Turn the other way. Shift your weight to the heels of your feet and come into a mini chair pose. So you got a little bend to the wall foot. Peel up the center of the room foot, keep the foot flexed, externally rotate the legs so the heel's pointing toward the wall. Do your stop sign and then point the fingers toward the heel on that center of the room arm. And then you can put your elbow on the wall and do a stop sign with the elbow wall, the wall hand at your shoulder. And then see if you can release the shoulder from the wall a little bit. Nice. Good, good. All these Shivas. All right, good. Go ahead and release that. Shake it out. But it's kind of a fun thing to play with. And then you can just dance back and forth. All righty, let's come to our backs. Yay. Good job, everybody. Before you come to your back, come to your seat. Come to your seat on your blanket with your legs extended. Whew. If you need your strap, grab your strap. We're going to lasso the feet and just do a little Dandasana series. We spent a lot of time on our backs at the beginning, so we're just going to pretty much go straight to Shavasana when we get on our backs. So we still have time. So you're sitting in this foundational pose called Dandasana. You should be on enough blankets so that your spine can lift out of your pelvis. And plug the head of your leg bone into your pelvis as your feet are flexed, toes lifted and spread. Take your hands back behind you on spider fingers. Press the hands into the earth to help you grow your spine. Roll the shoulder back, lift the heart. And then see if you can't walk your fingers forward just a little bit till you feel sensation in the hamstrings. All right, press the legs down, engage the legs. Draw the belly in, get really strong, and see if you can release the hands and maintain the posture. Ooh, good. And then slowly spider finger walk your fingers down your legs just a little bit. You don't have to go real far without rounding your back. See what you can do. Little Paschimottanasana. All right, Dandasana, forward fold. Breathe in and out. One more breath in and out. Slowly walk the hands back. We're going to bend that left knee and hold on to the top of the shin. Keep flexing the right foot. Use that pressure in the shin to bring the belly towards your thigh, to lift and lengthen. And you can keep your left foot right here or cross it over your right foot. All right, we're going to do an open twist. So release the right hand, reach it up overhead. Full breath in, twist towards the right and lower the right hand back behind you. Half Lord of the Fishes, Ardha Mastrayandasana. Keep the belly drawn in. This is really good for sciatica, good for the colon as it is a twist, and it's good for that hamstring lengthening and the outer hip. And as you're ready, reach that back arm up overhead and come back to center. Uncross your legs, shake them out. Readjust your Dandasana. So the left leg is long and straight. That other leg is bent. Hold on to that knee, lengthen, get yourself situated. And then if you choose, cross the right leg over the left leg. Stay here or reach the left arm up overhead, lengthen, gently twist to the left and lower those fingertips down back behind you on spider fingers. And then come back to center and bring the soles of the feet together back to Baddha Konasana without the block. And see if you feel any different with your typical cobbler's pose or Baddha Konasana, holding on to somewhere on your leg. So lift the heart space up, hinge forward just a smidge. Nice. Release that, take the hands to the sides of the legs, extend the legs long and slide on into your Shavasana. We have about 3 more minutes to just do a couple releasing poses. Oh, so notice where your body takes a sigh or a grunt as you lie back. Okay, notice where your body takes a sigh. Keep the knees bent to start. Arms come out to a T. Feet are as wide as the mat. Rock the knees side to side. I know I lied, didn't I? So next time those knees are to the left, lower them down to the left. Let the right buttock come up off the earth. Feet are as wide as the mat, nice wide feet. And then some of you may want to choose to do this, not everybody. If you want to take your left ankle and place it on top of your right knee, left ankle on top of the right knee, and gently use that to open up through the right hip flexor and quad. Is your back okay? Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Is that all right? You don't have to do this part.
No, that's good.
Okay.
I just didn't know what.
I know I can. All right, take another breath. Good. Take the ankle off of the knee, on the thigh, please, and then lift the top knee followed by the bottom. Bend the knees, rock the knees side to side again. And then the next time they fall to the other side, to the right, lower them to the right. And if you choose to put the right ankle on the left knee, just gently use that to help Stretch and lengthen that quad and the hip flexor. Use your breath. And then release the ankle from the knee, lift the top knee followed by the bottom knee, rock side to side. And then just listen to your body. See what your body is still seeking and honor your body with whatever stretch it's asking for now for the next 5 or 6 breaths. You may have a happy baby. And then when you feel ready to settle into Shavasana, get whatever equipment you need, socks, blanket, bolster under the knees. Make sure you're warm enough. Let your body settle. Take a couple of breaths in through the nose and out through an open mouth to release any lingering tension. And then I just have a little poem by Donna Folds I'd like to read as you settle into your Shavasana. It's called Precisely Where You Are. There is no turning back, you know. Once the soul is awake and the voice of spirit beckons, there is only one direction. Of course, the route may look a bit circuitous. Yes, it may look as if you move every which way but forward, but until you see the broader view, the one that shows you with arms thrown wide, embracing absolutely everything, your long stride carrying you to the exact spot on which you stand. The path to truth moves through some quite peculiar landscapes, and there are times you'll swear you're going nowhere. But if you tried to iron out the twists and turns to make it into a perfect straight and narrow walk to the finish line, think how boring and predictable that would be. Where you need to be right now is here, just here, precisely where you are. Begin to come back into this space. Just enjoy a full, rich breath in. Take a long, slow breath out. Begin wiggling fingers and wiggling toes. Gently turn your head side to side. When you feel ready, stretch in any way that feels good in your body. Bring the knees in towards the chest and rock side to side till finally ending up on your favorite side. Pause there for just a moment. Thinking about that full cycle of embracing impermanence. Everything changes. And when you're ready, press your hands into the earth. Come to a seat that's comfortable for you. Hands to the heart space. Let's just send each other off with the beautiful sound of Om again. So exhale fully. Inhale and join me. All the light and love in my heart so honors that same light and love in all of yours. Bow your head to honor your own practice and blink your eyes open and greet your Sangha with Namaste. Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.